Okay, here we go. We're ready to hive the bees. So you guys all saw this the other day, but I do know it was actually upside down, so you didn't see this little strap here on the crate. That strap is attached to that little cage that I told you about that has the queen inside of it. So it's going to be real easy for me to get that queen out. So I'm just going to start loosening this little cover here. And this is just called a hive tool for doing what I just did. Eventually this is all going to be covered with wax, so you're not going to be able to just pick one of these frames out. So you got to kind of pry it out. So this just gets used for a bunch of things. Right now, I want to give these girls a little treat. This is just some sugar water in my spray bottle. I'm going to spray them down pretty good. They like this stuff, but what else it's doing is making their wings sticky, so it'll be a little harder for them to fly, which right now will be good. I don't want them to fly too much. We're going to leave the bees in there, at least as many as we can. First thing we're going to do is just get that queen out. We got a few things we got to do to that. So they're flying all around me, but they're not really messing with me. They do want to get to that queen though. So I'm going to grab my little bee brush. This is just a real soft brush here. Try to get some of those guys away from the queen so I can... I know. Relax, everybody, relax. Yeah, they're not really happy with me right now, but I'm hoping they understand that this is all for their good. I'm the good guy. There we go. What I'm trying to do, I'm not trying to get them all off. There's a little cork in one end, and I'm trying to get that exposed. So I'm not sure where it was. Now I see it. So now I'm going to be a little more forceful, try to get them off. See, most of them are gone now. But they were covering this so much, I really couldn't whack that piece of wood. Come on, leave them alone. Okay. I just want to show you this a little closer. So this is the queen bee's cage, and the queen is that big. Probably can't tell the color difference. It's a bigger bee and it's a different color, and then she's got a couple of attendants. And what I'm liking very much is that everybody inside of that is alive. Sometimes you get a queen, it arrives and the queen's dead. And this white thing right there is a sugar candy. Sometimes that's gone. So what I have to do is take this cork out, and that's it. And then we're going to make a little hanger, and we're going to hang this inside of the hive. And then the bees inside are going to try to eat this candy and get out. And the bees inside the hive are going to come up and eat that candy to try to release the queen. If there was no candy there, which sometimes happens, these guys get hungry and they eat the whole thing. You just shove a little mini marshmallow in there. So I have a little mini marshmallow in case I needed it, but looks like I don't. So we're going to make this a little hanging thing. And then once we get done, I close this up for a week and I don't touch it. If I open up too early, they may end up killing the queen. I guess they like their routine. Okay. Just got to try to pry this cork out of there. The bees are all over me and flying around me. They're really not doing anything. They're just checking me out. Because you got to remember, these guys were in Georgia a few days ago. Then they've been in the office in my house, waiting for a decent day to get it moved into their new home. So I have 2 bent nails, just little thin nails that I bent, and I'm putting them in the edge of the wood on this little bee cage here. And basically this is going to allow me to hang this in the hive. So it's going to hang in there like that. And we have the candy on top, and there's a very good reason, it's kind of a morbid reason that the candy's on top, because if one of these bees inside passed away and the hole was on the bottom, then that bee would prevent the queen from getting out of this cage or the other bees from getting in. So you always put the candy in the opening on the top. So eventually she'll be released. So this just is going to hang in the hive just like that. And the reason I haven't put all the other frames back yet is because I'm going to basically pour a bunch of the bees in there. Come on, guys. In that can had a couple little holes in it, and it had some simple syrup, just the same sugar water that I was spraying on them. So that syrup was slowly, very slowly dripping out of that can, so that gave them some nourishment for their trip up from Georgia. So this is going to seem a little mean what I'm going to do now, but it doesn't hurt them. I'm going to smack this down on this hard surface so all the bees go to the bottom. I'm going to pour about half of them right here around the queen, and the rest I'm going to pour in there, and then I'm just going to start putting it back together. At least they tell me it doesn't hurt them. Okay. I can't believe that they want to stay in here. Come on, guys. Okay. So now I think I need the help of my trusty brush. If I brush the screen, all those little bee feet might let go. They'll come out. Come on, guys. Every time I smack it, I get a whole bunch out, but they're still in there. I'll have to ask some people that have done this a few more times what their secret is if the bees aren't coming out as easily as they were seen on a video. Okay, I think we're going to go back to our slate. Try that again. That seemed to help a little. Gotta be careful not to smash them. So the ones that I poured onto the queen, they were all over that cage. They want that queen. Well, I've got certainly many hundreds of bees in there, so I think I'm just going to leave this little cage out here and let the remaining ones figure out if they can find their way in there. So now We got our queen put properly in there. My photographer's too scared to get this close, but I wanted to show you that whole pile of bees that's up on top, that wide opening right there. That's where the queen bee cage is. So you see how happy those bees are trying to get in there, and the rest are just hanging out there. So now we have to very carefully put the rest of the frames back in, all except for one, because the queen is kind of taking up the space of one of the frames. So one of them will stay out. But we have to be very careful because these guys, I don't want to crush any of them. And they don't realize that what I'm putting in here is something very good for them because they don't speak my language. That's where this little brush comes in handy. You can just brush them out of the way. Come on, get out of the way. There you go. Okay, one more. Come on. There we go. So now, we're not going to use that inner cover like I spoke about. We're going to give them their little feeder. Once all that sugar water's in there, they'll detect that and they'll probably all start wanting to come and check it out. Problem is, I don't want to crush any of them. We got to do a little house cleaning here. Come on, get out of there. Come on, guys. You know, it's just like trying to keep the cafeteria line moving. You always got to tell everyone, come on, keep going, keep moving. Same thing. These guys just don't want to play well. I think they're pretty darn excited because they've been cooped up for way too long. I don't know, or maybe they're just real happy and they want to go to the beach. Maybe they always wanted to check out Cape Cod. Well, it's there now. Hopefully nobody got hurt. I have some bees inside here, and if I just go ahead and pour the syrup in here, they won't get out. I'm going to drown them, so I'm going to try to give them a chance to get out, but I don't know if they'll take the hint. Come on, guys. Well, he did. that's it. Where did I put my reducer? We've got to put that little reducer back in. And I said there was a morbid reason, just like in the queen bee cage, the reason they have the candy up on high side of the cage. You don't put your little reducer this way, you put it this way. That way if there's any dead bees here, the other bees can climb over. If you kept it like this and there were dead bees on the inside blocking that, then the bees won't have access in or out. And last but not least is our cover. Got a lot of bees just hanging around on top of those slats, checking out that syrup. Alright, come on guys, get off the edge. Alright. That is it. I don't expect to see them flying around quite this much. I think they'll eventually go in there. Once they calm down. And there we go. They are hived.